Okay, just making sure we're live here before I do an introduction. How's the stream looking? Looking good. It's looking good. Did press update information, right? There we go. All right. How's it going, everyone? Runt9 here. Welcome back to Runt9 Plays, and today we are playing some City Skylines. I've got a couple videos coming out later this week on YouTube, but I also wanted to do a stream. I thought that it would be fun to hop into Snowfall for my first time on a stream rather than on YouTube. I haven't done the heated pipes thing before, and I also really like this island map because it's not as tight as the archipelago map is, but it still has a lot of interesting things you can do with the islands. I think that it makes public transit a lot of fun to put together. We actually have a train over here. Yes. Oh man, that's awesome. We could have trains right off the bat. Train line already running right through here, which tells me that this would be a perfect thought process for downtown. In fact, maybe this could be one of our main downtown areas. We could maybe even make this sort of a touristy island, and then maybe make this a downtown island kind of place. Depending upon how far out we get with our tiles, not sure exactly what that's going to look like, but it's City Skylines, so the first thing you always have to do, and also I'm definitely playing with a bunch of mods. You'll see them scrolling through up here. One of the main ones that affects gameplay is the real-time mod, but you know, you'll see that as the game goes on. But it's City Skylines, so the first thing you got to do is build a little road segment there and immediately delete it. And so we need to figure out which way the water is going so I can drop down some water pumps, and we are going to have to do heated pipes, which, yeah, I haven't done Snowfall at all, so let's see here. Nope, doesn't help you at all. During the winter, heating is required. Upgraded water pipes carry heat to buildings. So we're going to need a boiler station. Make sure connected to water pipes, can distribute heat to buildings. It uses oil to produce heat. Okay. And we've got the geothermal heating plant, which is a green solution to heating. But it doesn't look like we can do anything with that until we get to 1800 population. So let's open with my typical start, which I actually prefer water towers usually. But I think that I'm going to keep it simple and just do this right off the bat. Connect that up. And then we're going to do, again, a fairly standard start for me. Grab a 6-lane road and bring this down probably about, let's see here. We'll go down 30 units. That should be good. And then we will come back to our highway, and no, we can't do highways yet. We can do 3-lane one-ways, which is from the Network Extensions 2 mod. We'll bring those around, and then I'm going to hop immediately into TPME because I'm very used to doing this at this point. This means that nobody can make a U-turn here. I don't want you making U-turns right off of the highway. That is not a fun thing at all. It's not my preference. One moment here. All right, just doing a little bit of advertisement. Sorry about that. So where were we? So yeah, one thing of note is if you don't have access to TPME, usually I would go ahead and just make this into a small little roundabout right off the bat. But because I have that, I can stop this from U-turning, and that actually ends up being more functionally efficient than a roundabout because you don't have people going around a roundabout to go right back out. Pardon me. So what we will do here is grab, I think I'll just do a typical industry loop. Bring it down to about right there. That should give us some solid zoning. Go down there, cut across at this angle, force them back down here, and actually, yeah, we'll force them back down there, and we will make this particular road two-way, which will probably need to be upgraded pretty quickly. I'm also going to disable zoning on that because I don't want to accidentally zone that. And for the moment, I'm going to disable zoning on that main road. I want to kind of avoid putting things on that main road for the moment, since that's going to be a very high traffic thoroughfare, if I'm honest. Let's drop down our power plant, which we will just go ahead and put right up here. We're going to need to run power lines down here, which honestly I should have done industry over here to make things a little easier, but that's perfectly okay. Run some power there. One thing we can do is wait a little bit because I am using the mod that runs electricity under the streets, which I found to be a pretty helpful mod. I quite like it. Then what we're going to do here is we're going to do some 4-lane roads as our main thoroughfares, and then we're going to weave them into the little suburban neighborhoods. I'm not sure if I want to do 4-lane with median or if I would prefer to do the 4-lane road from network extensions too. I think I'll do it with median and then add turning lanes as necessary. So I don't want to cram anything onto that intersection. I kind of want to bring it down a little bit. And then we'll work off of this as our first main thoroughfare out to about right there. We're doing okay on cash. Sorry, folks. Okay, so we've got one main 4-lane road there. I'm gonna go ahead and bring this up to about right there or so. Bring it back around and bring it back down here. We'll fill this in with some little curvy roads. And then, in fact, we should probably do that now and start with that. I definitely do not want zoning on that one. And again, I have to go back and disable zoning on that. Definitely disable zoning on those. I'm really happy that I found this little tool. It is quite nice to have. So we're going to do this, and then we're going to make, little suburban curves in here. Let's actually come up from this corner, and, we'll just kind of curve things around a little bit, make things a little interesting in here. And, this is a nice little snaky road that will connect up in various points. Oops. Go back there. And apologies if you hear a little thunder. It is definitely storming in my neck of the woods right now. Hopefully that's not too big of a deal as far as like audio issues. Now let's just kind of attach these in a couple more places. Kind of the way I like to do my suburbs is have some main gridded out roads on the exterior, and then kind of bring the like so. I think it makes it look quite neat while also providing good access to things like city services and schools and what I guess schools are a city. You guys know what I mean. Also, my wireless keyboard is being a pain in the butt, which it tends to do sometimes. We'll add another couple of ways to get into the neighborhood. Probably want to do one like this. And we may even just take this one down here. Don't want to make the intersections too close together. And then we'll go back in and turn off traffic lights, as you would expect. You'll learn very quickly that I despise traffic lights and only use them if absolutely necessary. We've got some more empty space in here to fill in, so let's bring this one down like that. Bring this one down like that, and then we'll even bring a tiny little road like that and like that. All right, I think that will probably do. Nope, I'm not content. I am not content yet. Okay, that'll do. And so the way that I like to do things is have commercial on the outside street and residential on the smaller streets internally. We are going to need to water this, which is going to cost a bit of cash. Yeah, we unfortunately don't have the money to water all of it. And power is going to need spread in an interesting way. Theoretically, this will spread through the roads and this will do the trick. Did pull water there. Tiny bit more, because we need to zone in some residential. That's as much as I can get. So I know that I can fill that in, and this little bit can go, oh, not very far at all, actually. And so this is a common thing that I do, is I just run out of money all the time. Unfortunately, this is not watered either. So what we may end up having to do here is wait for a bailout, which is always fun. Power is now spreading through there. We need residential space first, obviously. So let's start filling in on the interior roads here. Again, kind of keeping an eye on where the water is. Power spreads along roads, so we don't necessarily have to worry about power in this particular case. Water is unfortunately not our friend here. I think that almost all of that is watered. Not quite. Yeah, we're going to need to drop those two. While I'm thinking about it, let's turn down our budgets for these all the way so that we are making a little more money. Let me make sure my settings for the real-time mod are set the way that I like. They are 75% construction speed, where I like to be. So we'll get some residences moving in here, and hopefully a commercial building or two will pop up. This will start complaining about water soon, I would imagine. Actually, to force the issue, I'm actually going to draw that square and that square for our first commercial buildings, so that they're going to be forced to move in one of those two spots and spread power onto this power line so that we can get power down to our water pumps. And there we go. That's exactly what I was hoping for. And now we can fill in more commercial space up here where we have plenty of water. We can fill in a bit more residential demand. Like that does have water. We need industry, but unfortunately, our industry section does not have any water at the moment. And we are kind of burning money, painfully. I'm pretty sure I clicked on that. Water-wise, we can get a little bit further with our zoning. Just do one more building's worth. It may not be the worst idea in the world to start off with some residential there, or maybe even temporarily put some industrial down and then kill it off later. Yeah, I'm gonna have to seriously consider that. We do have water going all the way down here, which actually, I think that's what I'm gonna do for the moment, is I'm actually gonna zone off this as industrial. And we're going to build in some more residential areas, which this is certainly less than ideal. Not the way that I intended on starting, but I don't like starting over, so the little bit of challenge is kind of fun, honestly. So we can get that house as well. So some industry will move in up there. We can get some more houses here. That industrial demand will start to be met. And eventually we'll start making some money and can run some more pipes. Got a little commercial demand popping up. It should be covered. We want residences to move in. That's a good residential spot. Water is carrying through all of those houses. And again, I don't want to put houses on the main street here, this main avenue that runs around the outside of the little suburb area. Again, this is definitely not where the industrial section is supposed to go. It's obviously supposed to go over here in this main industry loop that we will fill out with smaller roads as time goes by. We are already running into power consumption issues, so I will give us just a little bit of a budgetary increase there, which will get us by for now. So we are making a teensy bit of money, not nearly enough to matter, but once we get to our first milestone, we can take out a loan, we can run the rest of our pipe, and everything will be fine. We won't have anything more to worry about. At least that's my hope. Who knows if that's actually how it's going to work, but we will have to worry about the city services that we won't be able to afford at the time. Also, I need to go through and turn off the red lights everywhere, because again, I hate red lights. There we go. There's Little Hamlet. All right, so all those are off. Let's immediately take out a loan. Let's immediately turn taxes up to 12%. And let's also crank the electric budget up to 75%. And let's place the rest of our pipe so we can zone the way that we wanted to initially and not have to worry about this awkwardness here. Build down there. Oh, not quite far enough. And over and down, and then I'm gonna need that space later, so let's fill it in now. We have enough for a med clinic, which happily covers all of our suburban area thus far. Education. Garbage is going to be more important than education, so let's go ahead and plop down a landfill. I do tend to prefer recycling centers, but I know that I'm not going to have a good opportunity to use one here. That should be in a spot that it's not gonna need to get moved later on. I think education-wise, because we're going to build out more suburbs down here, but not be expanding north, we may even want to just drop it right next to the med clinic. And then, you know, we'll circle some roads around that little section there. We've got water, we've got power, we've got trash, we've got everything we need. Let's unpause, back up to 3 times speed. Let's fill in the rest of our zoning. And then immediately we need to zone all of this off as industrial. My mouse will click when I tell it to. So that's all industrial. That means we can force this to move out and flood fill all of this as commercial, and all of this can be commercial. This and this is all commercial, and then whatever's left after we do this as well, part that I always forget about. And now it looks like there's not enough residential, and you're not necessarily wrong, but this is how I like to build things out. And what you'll see is as time goes by, these little this pattern ends up looking really nice. And as we build larger loops, which will probably run sort of a triangular loop here that goes down this way and then back up here to a big 4-way intersection, we'll end up with a much larger space for residences. I just started out small to kind of get the town started. And obviously we're going to have a good bit of traffic traveling through this path right here, but that's perfectly okay for now. I don't necessarily know how long this stream will run tonight. It is 9:37 Central Daylight Time. I'll probably run this until at least 10:30. May even go a little longer than that. I'm getting a little hungry, so I don't know how long I'll go before I decide that I have to eat something, but oh man, it's doing it again. Open up, move it. I don't know why this is a thing that happens, but I'm going to get rid of the rocks on my roads. So you can see that we've got branches and stuff strewn about on the road, and I'm just going to delete them. I don't like them. They upset me. Obviously, traffic flow is fine at the moment. Residential demand is starting to creep up a little bit. We are going to need to expand this through this commercial center. But let's just let the city keep building out a little bit. Let's let a little bit more money roll in. Keeping an eye on our various city needs, which the needs for power continue to escalate. So let's bump it all the way back up to 100%. Water should be doing fine with a single pump and a single outlet for the moment. And eventually, we're going to want to get rid of these and move them somewhere else. Potentially even up to this island. Although I think that we had said is going to be our tourist island. So maybe not. But we are going to want to make all of this property here have little roads running along it for residences, so that we get the increased land value along the coastline working in our favor. We are about to hit the next milestone, which is great. We can take out the next big loan. We could unlock the next tile, which I think I'm going to immediately open up this tile so that we can expand onto the rest of this part of the island before we start jumping to another island. And it also gives us access to fire and police, because whoop whoop is the sound of the police. Take that loan. We will immediately buy this tile, because I will drive myself crazy butting up against the boundaries of not having that. And I think that the industry is going to be fine as the loop that it is right now. We may even want to add a way for these guys to get right back onto this highway exit here. In fact, I think as soon as highways are unlocked, I'll probably add a one-lane feeder road that goes between here. So those that have taken most of the loop that need to get back out can. But if they're going down here, then they have to go all the way back out. And that's probably perfectly okay. I do think that this needs to go somewhere easily accessible for the industrial section. So we may want to turn on zoning for the center road. And that is part of the problem with this giant one-way loop, which we will need to correct pretty quickly. But let's go back in and turn zoning back on temporarily here while we plop down fire, and we're gonna try to do a 2-lane one-way, nope, straight road. Do it that way and see what that does for us. Not much. Does not help very much at all. So instead, I'm going to do what I do a lot and is usually fairly detrimental cost-wise. Just adjusting my camera there. Yeah, it's definitely not the best idea in the world. But one of the things I like doing is plopping down fire in both places and putting this basically right at the start of the one-way in such a way that it can reach everything. But I think that there may not be a good spot for it because of how the one-ways are designed. It was a loud rumble of thunder if you guys didn't have a chance to hear that one. Definitely got some storms going on down here right now. So this is obviously super terribly ugly. And I think I'm going to want a little ramp that goes up over here later on. But now let's see what sort of coverage we can get here. If I drop it here, that gets almost all of it. That'll be good enough. You know, that's kind of my mentality with a lot of things is as long as it's good enough. We'll drop down police there, drop down this here, and we just know that whatever suburb we bring down here, this little section is not going to have roads off of it, but that's perfectly fine. You know, that it really is a way that I'm very happy with building things out. So what else did we get? Not that panel. Let's go back to the milestones. So we got districts, which I don't necessarily care too much about. Forestry and agriculture specialization, nothing important there. Power usage, water usage. Okay, so nothing that we need to worry too much about. And then we have a couple more milestones before we get to start heating our city. So with our remaining money, while things are starting to build out a little bit, let's go ahead and grab our 4-lane roads and extend our suburban area. And this is where we're going to start curving this road a little bit. In fact, we're going to want to... I cut the power off there. We're going to want to bring it out in such a way... Probably stop it there for now so that we're not eating up too much money. Bring this around as kind of a large loop. And we may want to turn this into something other than that awful curve. In fact, I'm not okay with how that looks. So I'm going to bring this back around here. And then we'll just use a normal curve tool here to bring that direction. Grab the freeform tool and start having fun with it. Not going to have too many roads coming in off of this main road here. We'll do 2 big ones that connect like that. This so, and so, and really, I just like going crazy with this. Is something that I thoroughly enjoy is making things look a bit crazy. And you know, if you look at our coverage, they're still covered just fine. I mean, for the most part, we'll need to put another group of services down here. But a lot of this internal area will be covered by the city services we've already placed down. Very good thing, obviously. This will be a nice, long, windy, kind of. Definitely go through that rock. Rocks are enemy. In fact, let's turn this a little something. Connect that, and then we'll do something like that. So it's kind of like this interesting little cul-de-sac roundabout kind of thing. And just because I don't want that tiny little house popping up there, we'll turn off zoning. Okay, never mind. It's going to pop up either way. Actually, I think what I'm going to do in that case then, go into it and move this node back a little bit so that there's a bit more space here. Now if we look at the zoning, you can fit a couple smaller houses in there, but it at least is better than a single one tile house. So yeah, I just like to do a bunch of random runabout branches. We probably need another road connection. So let's actually bring one down there now. We may even want to connect this up there. Bring this through and over. You know, because this feels more naturally suburban to me. Having larger avenues with these smaller side streets that kind of weave in and out of each other. And so we are out of money, kind of to be expected. We are losing a little bit of money right now, also to be expected. Unfortunately, I have broken power down here because I am not the brightest cookie jar sometimes. So I'm gonna do a trick that, you know, you can do sometimes if you're low on money, and whether or not you agree with it, I understand both sides of the argument, so totally get it. But you know that it's just something that needed to happen here. And I'm going to want to run water pipes down here too. So we'll let this sit for a minute, wait for people to start complaining, wait for the population to start actually declining. It's a thing that you can do in this game, and you know, I know it's not the most popular thing to watch somebody do, but it's something that the game gives me as a tool that I'm tempted to use. So that said, let's go ahead and water all this stuff. Oh no, let's finish building our roads first. We're almost done. Bring that around there. We're gonna want one of these to come around like so. Yeah, no, I'm happy with the way this is looking. We'll kind of continue this around a little bit more so that we can have another arm come off of it like that. And we'd want that one that kind of does this little ditty. I am cool with that. Let's water all of this with our decreasing money. So budget-wise, we are running out of power, unfortunately, which is certainly a very bad thing. But we're low on money, running out of power, so I'm going to immediately go do this again. For just a brief moment. Need a little bit of power, that's it. Nothing too big. I think that that is an acceptable thing to do. Alright, they're starting to get angry. Population change is about to drop into the red, and then we bring them back down. Alright. Cool. That does not give us enough for one of these, but what it does give us is one of these. And I realize that this is not the greatest idea in the world, but it is a temporary fix to the problem while we put down some water lines that, again, we don't necessarily have the money for. Water and sewage are actually running a little low, so we're going to need to bump the budgets up for that. Goes up to 65%. That's usually my next mark that sits around well for a while. Yeah, you can see it goes all the way back up into the ground. Okay, so power is still a problem, unfortunately, which, did I put my budget back at 100%? I did, so why is this failing us? It should be connected to the main power grid, and it is, but we are having issues. Oh man. Well, let's get some more people moved in where we do have water. And some more commercial buildings would probably be good. Yeah, I really didn't do too good of a job here, did I? Alright, well, we can get some residences moved in along... Oh, I wanted the flood fill. Get some people moved in up here, I think. Alright, we've got money. Let's hurry up and burn it. Get some pipes run and kind of bring this across. Oh, come on, give me more money than that. I mean, I just kind of want to finish this expansion project, so I'm going to do this again. And I know... I get it. I understand. Trust me, I do understand, believe me. But let's do that. And we can't do heated pipes yet. I did not want to. Alright, now everyone is complaining, and we'll go back down to 12. Okay. Hopefully that's the last time I'll need to do that, but, yeah, I make no guarantee. Unfortunately, that's something that I do kind of lean on early game, because I do like the challenge of having to build out your city with financial restrictions early on. You can't just hop into infinite money mode and make everything perfect from day one. But I do like not having to fight for my resources. So we're running into power problems, so what I'm going to answer this with is just bumping up the budget. And that will hopefully get us a little bit of breathing room while we try to get enough money. So what we need to do now is flood fill all of the commercial areas along the outside of our... And I probably should just use this tool. Hey, there's Tiny Town. We will come back to that in a minute, but let's just leave it paused for the moment while I fill in all this. Now, the inside of the road is a little harder to do with that tool. So we will just get zoomed in and flood fill it this way. Back around. Kind of like clicking to the beat here. Alright, and then, for the fun part, is we get to draw a giant box around the rest of it, and that's all residential. So there we go. So there's a bunch of residential in there. And again, I know that we're going to need some more stuff down here for city services and whatnot. Okay, so Tiny Town, what did that actually get us? Park areas, industry areas, not something we're going to mess with right now. A park area is something that we will likely put in on our little tourist island over here later on. But I think it's worth it. What else did we get? I think this is where we get the high school. I don't think any of the policies or anything we're going to use right now. We've got parks, which is great. We are going to use that. We have our first high school. And our first high school obviously should go on our big main up here somewhere. We'll cover the city well enough. Or we could drop it along this street right here. I think is what I want to do. We do need more med, fire, and police coverage down here. But we just don't necessarily have the money for that right now. One thing we can do is pay and immediately take that loan back out. Our first priority, though, could be another one of these. Because power is biting us in the butt right now. Alright, there we go. I'm going to pause for just a moment. I need to on to a message real quick. Sorry about this, folks. There we go. Perfect. All right. So we got our other power plant on there. Drop the budget back down. And okay, perfect. Fill out all of this residential space. And we're going to want to drop parks. Oh man, that's not exactly what I wanted here. Oops. All right, let's fix this before everything gets messed up. Oh man. Okay. Let's make sure that we actually fill this in with industry. And this definitely doesn't need to be industry on this main road. I forgot to go back in and turn zoning off here. Much better. Let's go ahead. Oh, hey Byron, how's it going, man? Good to have you on the stream. I appreciate it. Byron is a friend from the Move the Mouse Discord, which if anyone out there watching has not had an opportunity to watch any of Move the Mouse's videos, I would highly, highly recommend. We got our high school, we got some more pipes laid down, and I believe it's the next milestone where we get our heated pipes finally. I mean, you'll definitely be happy with the 9900K. I can't deny that. I'm happy with my AMD, but I mean, again, for gaming, the Intels are still going to be a little bit better. The clock speed is nice, and what you got is a very beefy processor, I will say that much. Alright, just making sure everything is in order here. Alright, so as expected, we've got some trucks that are leaving that way. Again, once we unlock highways, I'll do a little bit of fun with getting people into this industry loop. What is this one again? Oh, crematorium. Yeah, do we have death care yet? No, we do not. And we do need to get some better coverage on med, fire, and police down in this part of the city. But of course, kind of have to wait for the money to roll in. We're on 3 times speed here, and things seem to be flowing okay. I am curious to see how the next rush hour goes. So again, I am playing with the real-time mod, which the real-time mod does have the concept of rush hour in the sense that, you know, 7 to 9 a.m. is a bit busier on traffic, as is 4 to 7 p.m. No. See here. You need snow dumps that send out snow plows. Okay. I definitely have not dealt with this yet. Let's see here. Now, more links. Like we might have some more people from the Move the Mouse Discord joining us shortly. Okay, so it is currently, 5:20 in the morning, and people are getting ready to go to work. So our traffic flow is at 93% right now, which you would expect it to be nice and high with this amount of population. But what I want to show is, look at how it's going to start dropping as we get a little further into typical morning rush hour. And you'll see more people on this main road as people come out of the nice suburban residential area. We've got a fire over here. Make sure that the fire coverage is good, which it is. Perfect. We'll come back to this and just making sure that everything is okay. So we definitely are not swimming in cash. I would like to get city services down here. I'd like to get... Yeah, let's not have move the mouse level fires. That would be greatly appreciated if we could dodge that kind of scenario here. Alright, so we are in the heart of rush hour, and you can see that there are more people piling into the industry section here. I mean, look at that long line of cars and trucks. More people coming onto this main strip here. And there you go. See, traffic flow has dropped a whole 5%. During this 8 to 9 hour. You see a lot of people down here. You see people parking. We can go find our high school. You'll actually see that school is in session right now, so there's a bunch of people there, a bunch of cars parked out front. Hey, Adia, how's it going? Good to have you here. Appreciate you joining the stream. Adia is another Move the Mouse follower. So again, make sure that you have an opportunity to check out his videos on YouTube. He does a great job. I learned a good bit about City Skylines from him, and he kind of inspired me to get back into it, and honestly was kind of my inspiration for finally starting up my YouTube and Twitch setup. I'm curious what moved in down here. Nice little snow-covered house here, little building here. I like it. I like what moved in down on this little cul-de-sac area. Got a little more zoning here that people can move in with. I think I am going to go ahead and do the trick to get a little bit more money so that we can put in the city services. That'll get people moving in down here a little quicker. Alright, so people are starting to get upset. Oh, I feel that, Adia. I know the feeling. Today was one of those days that I got work done, but definitely wasn't the greatest day in the world. Last week was rough. I definitely had my fair share of after-work drinks last week. I will tell you that much. So hopefully I can be a decent source of enjoyment on your drunk evening. Alright, so with that, we can drop down. So we're going to expand the suburbs more over here as time goes by. So over here is probably going to be good coverage, although we want to make sure that we get... Yeah, I think that I need to run another little feeder road right here. Probably like so. And that should... Ooh, not quite. Alright, well, here's what we're going to do then. We're going to run this right there. And now coverage spreads perfectly fine. That's what we were looking for. We're going to... Oh, we don't have enough money for that yet. Well, dang it. A little bit more money for both of these, unfortunately. Which we're about to hit the next milestone in just a couple more population. There we go. So 1800 is obviously a huge, huge milestone. There's a ton of things to do. A lot of things to do. Okay, so first let's focus on the fact that we need like everything. I'm going to go in here and pay off that loan, take it out again, pay off this loan and take it out again. So we have as much money to play with as possible. We need to crank the budget up on water some more. We'll go up to 80% now. And again, apologies for the thunder if it ends up being annoying. I wish that I could turn it off. It is storming here right now. So we've got some power issues as well. We're going to need to drop in another power plant. I could throw an advanced turbine down that's 40 versus 0 to 20. I think this is more cost efficient. So we're going to just drop this in right here. And obviously I want to put in things like trams. Oh, I am totally in the wrong view. I meant to go back to milestones. I definitely want to put in trams and buses. I don't think that it's going to be time for that right now. We need to turn on recycling and recreational use across the whole city. So let's go ahead and do that. Extra insulation. Electricity. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. So, how do heated water pipes work? Can I upgrade existing pipes? Dude, so, Adia, this is my favorite way to build cities. I build mostly gridded main avenues, at least in my suburbs. You'll see that I do downtown a little more grid-like, which I think I'd already mentioned this before you guys got in. The thought is we've got a train line that runs along here. I'm kind of thinking that I want to have this be a touristy island, and then this be our sort of main big skyscrapery downtown area. Hey Alexa, hey Google, hey Siri, call mom. Okay, thank you Pyrotastical. Hopefully everyone is now calling their mother. Okay, so yeah, this is my favorite way to build cities though, is I like having 4-lane or 6-lane roads around the exterior of my suburban areas, and then fill them in with wild branches and stuff. I think it looks so super neat. Aha! So Pyrotastical is probably happy about that. And I don't know, I just really like the way it ends up looking. So we need to put in fire coverage and police coverage down here. I'll put down there. And then I'm going to need an elementary school probably around this part. That'll do. And oh, I do not like this song. All right, let's get the game on pause. Let's get some tax income rolling back in. That would be great. Let's also plop down a park somewhere. Start getting some land value here. We're going to need smaller parks because of the way I build things out. That'll cover a lot there. And then not without destroying anything. So we'll kind of just drop this right in the middle since we're going to destroy things anyways. Get that land value up. I'm a big proponent of high land value. Traffic is, of course, still doing fine. Let me make sure I turned off all my traffic lights. I did. Power is not spreading here. Not enough electricity. That shouldn't be a problem. Because power... So I have the power spreading through roads mod. But I'm not sure why it's not getting enough electricity. At least for the moment, I will spread the power this way through the grid and see how that does. Okay, sure. That makes logical sense. Alright, what else do we need to do? We need to upgrade our water lines to heated, apparently. Build a service building producing heat and connect it with upgraded water pipes to the buildings you want to receive heat. Well, let's just upgrade everything, I think. Oh, wow, that drains your money real quick. Not enough heat. Yeah, I feel ya. Maybe I shouldn't have upgraded right away? How much are these buildings? Oh, just a cool 60,000. Mod that you were using gave me the same issue and I could not fix. I had to remove it. Which mod was it that was causing you trouble? Okay. I'll do this again because we need the money. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, that is a little annoying because theoretically that should be spreading power properly to this, but I don't know. I haven't played with this mod for very long, but I haven't run into this problem in other cities. People are not complaining about the super high taxes yet. Now they are, and population will start to dip shortly. Unfortunately, we need a lot more money than that to actually start supplying heat. So if I can't actually supply heat, maybe I should downgrade back to regular water pipes for now. And save the money and be concerned citizens. Yeah, let's wait until we have the money to actually start doing heating. For now, it'll just be a drain on our electrical grid. So far, I'm liking the challenge of a Snowfall map. I mean, you do need a lot more power for the same amount of space. Remove need for power lines. I hadn't heard of that one. You may want to drop a link in the Steam Workshop channel on Move the Mouse's Discord. Speaking of which, if anyone is interested, the Discord link for my own personal Discord is on the screen if you wanted to join that. Also, I do have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/Runt9, that is where I will be posting these videos, as well as, death care coverage time, as well as where I do all of my other gaming-related videos. That's the only problem with building curvy roads like this, is sometimes it's hard to find a spot for a cemetery. Ooh. Right here is going to have to do. Does that cover everything? Covers it good enough. Close enough for government work. Alright, we still got a little residential demand. People move in down here. That's fine. One thing I do want to do is go ahead and start running some bus lines pretty soon. Discord link. Let me switch the font on that to something a little easier. I'll just make it Arial black for. I wanted that to stay uppercase. Yeah, I think that it's probably a better idea to just leave these as Arial black instead of trying to get all fancy with my text. There we go. That should be a little easier to read. So again, totally don't have to, but if you're interested, feel free to join up over there. Looks like things are flowing nicely. Got some residential demand, need people to move in down here. At this one, I'm kind of saving up for this water heating thing. That one's 55,000, outputs 50 megawatts of heating. This one outputs 120 for 60K and uses oil. Uses 320 kilowatts of electricity. I'm not sure if I'm reading that correctly. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm reading any of that correctly. Again, I haven't played on Snowfall, so y'all are going along with this adventure, or going along on this adventure with me. Apparently English is difficult for me today. Based on kind of how I'm feeling, I would expect to probably end this stream in about 45 minutes or so. Just to give y'all a heads up on that. But I hope that we can get through some more fun. I did not realize that I had created a 5-way intersection here. If this becomes a problem, we will definitely need to move this around. 5-way intersections tend to be bad, and if you look, it's the only spot on the entire map that is starting to get poorly colored as far as some oranges showing up from time to time. So we'll keep an eye on that. Otherwise, I'm kind of just waiting for the money to roll in. I want to do the heating since that's kind of the whole point of learning Snowfall. I think in the interest of time, though, because I do want to get through more on this stream, I will just do this garbage again. Wait for people to get all angry, and then we will drift away from that. So the industry loop seems to be just fine on handling traffic at the moment. I'm in Central Time Zone, so it will be ending at approximately 11 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Alright, that got us enough for our boiler station. Must be placed roadside. Upgrade water pipes to buildings. No heating is available. Producing heating costs less than producing electricity, so heating should be preferred by, any frugal city. Geothermal is green, but has a much lower heating output. So let's give this boiler station a try right after we increase our water budget to 100%. Then won't be touching water again for a little. So I don't know if this like pollutes or anything. I don't know if this is safe. I honestly have no idea. But I'm going to try to just drop this in over here because it has a ton of noise pollution. And if I connect that there, we need to actually draw a line like that. And then it should start heating. I honestly don't understand how this is supposed to work. Oh, I should probably unpause to check how that works. Okay, cool. Yeah, it turns out unpausing is a great idea. So yeah, let's just upgrade what we can, which, man, these pipes cost a lot of money. Money that we don't particularly have right now, as you can tell. We could turn down some city service costs. I don't particularly want to do that. I would prefer to just have taxes roll in a little more. We are getting a little bit capped out on residential building space, though, unfortunately. We can't take out any more loans, and we are losing money. That is unfortunately all commercial. Yeah, we're pretty tapped out on residential space here. So I think what I'm going to do is micromanage this a little bit and just kind of crank these down slightly. This is less than ideal, but this should save us a good chunk of money. I mean, parks kind of don't matter. So we at least are turning a profit. Yeah, education and police are not going to be perfect availability, but it'll be, again, good enough for now so that we can start running some heat throughout our city and making our power far more efficient. I also am going to need to start expanding out here pretty soon. How far until our next milestone, by the way? 3,600, so we got about another 900. Nothing big here other than the tourism specialization that would be nice to have later on. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's snowy. It's a snow day. Why is there even school in session? Honestly. Alright, looks like we are finally starting to get a traffic problem here. We've got citizens crossing, so I think I'm actually going to turn that crossing off because this is very bad for us. What am I looking for? I'm looking for junction restrictions here. No pedestrian crossings there. They'll have to cross elsewhere. And you can block the intersection. There we go. So that cleared up that little traffic problem super quick. So if I didn't have Traffic Manager President Edition, what I would have done is instead of making this a super ugly 90-degree bend, which is terrible, and messing with the pedestrians trying to walk to work, I would bring this out and make this more of a circular path so that it's nice and smooth, because this is definitely not ideal. In fact, what I think I really want to do here is going to be in here. I'm going to do a raised pedestrian pathway. That way people can cross a little easier. And then let's go up about 10, bring this around, and then there, and then can I slope too steep? Oh, come on now. Okay, well, fine then. It doesn't want to behave. Okay, there we go. Now I should be able to come down. Nope, slope's too steep. Let's do that. That's pretty terrible, don't get me wrong. But it at least gets people to the other side of the street. In fact, 10 meters was probably way too high for that walkway. In fact, I would almost venture to guess that people are not even going to use it. But if I also come in here and turn off this crossing and this crossing, then people will have to use the pathway. That is horrendously inefficient. You know what? I hate the inefficiency of that so much, I'm going to go rebuild it. I really, really do not like that. So people walk this direction and go up. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. This part is going to be 6 meters over this. Okay, 6 meters is not enough. Let's do 9. And do it just like that. All right. Now, okay. We'll bring the sidewalk down at a more reasonable slope there. And then people can go there. Or they can not go there. Let's just turn off all of the snapping. And see if I can get it to do what I want. Okay. That looks bad, but it doesn't look as bad as it did. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to like spiral staircase this a little bit. Yes. And we will come in at that angle. Okay. There we go. Much better. So people can walk up here. They'll come around this corner. That slope is pretty steep, not going to lie. Let's grab move it and see if we can't make this a little less terrible. That doesn't make that too bad and makes that a little better. And then this slope is fairly gentle. Okay. All right. I'm good with that. That'll let our pedestrians cross a little more efficiently. And it'll take care of the little traffic flow issue we had over there. Okay, well that was a little bit of probably unnecessary micromanagement. We have literally all of the residential demand in the world. Yeah, dude, that's a great cardio workout right there, not gonna lie. Why do I feel like that some of these people are legitimately walking all the way down to this crosswalk? Or are they actually going to work? Man, it is 18 degrees outside and these people are braving the cold like it's nothing. Awesome, good for them. Okay, so we have way too much residential demand, so I think it's time that we expand the suburbs a little bit. In fact, I would go so far as to say that it's time to add some of our first waterfront property. So let me show you how I like to do waterfront property. Let's start right here and kind of go along the coastline. That zoning is not quite perfect. Curve it along there, and then we will stop there for the moment. Now, this curve I'm not going to be happy with like that. We don't want them to run too close to the water outlet pipe. We also want them to not have awful cliff lines. I realize that that looks less than perfect. There we go. And then we will have something here that we could probably run a fishing pier off of or something like that. And then we will connect this up right about there. And let's go into Move It and fix this. There we go. Much smoother. We will run this right there. Run this from this four-way intersection, not through there apparently. We will instead run it basically right on down to where the fishing pier will be. And then we will fill this in more in a minute. First things first, let's water this. Which I'm not going to do heated pipes right now. We'll do our upgrades. We'll do them, I promise. But let's run down here along this road and up through here. Medical, fire, police is decent coverage. There we go. The coverage is far from perfect. Not gonna lie, far from perfect. But it is time to put in some residential zoning here, which will basically like immediately fill in. We are going to make this commercial. No, that can be a house, but this is going to be commercial right here, little section. We're going to need more roads coming in from here. So this is still a problem, obviously, but I will solve that problem sometime that is not right now. So let's start doing some of my crazy loopy roads. Bringing this down. Now I get less dense the closer to the coast I go usually. Up here you can see that I really tried to cram the houses in. Down here I tend to be a little bit more conservative with it. I mean, I will build them in fairly dense, but a lot smaller roads, I would say. Or a lot fewer roads is probably the better way to put that. And this will come out here. And we're going to probably run a 4-lane road right along here, out to about here, and then down. And it'll probably run up towards that section as well. But I will run a little loop there, and then we'll run branches off here, because this is a little closer to the more dense roads. So now let's look at our med, fire, and police coverage. Certainly not the greatest in the world. We also have our budgets turned down for everything. 5:30 comes too quick. Runt, can you send me the link to the Discord? Yes, I can. Adia, good night, and I will definitely shoot the link over to you right now. That is GTR GX C5. I'm 99.9% sure that that is my invite code, server settings, members, invites. I mean, that is definitely the invite code, but I guess it's not working, so I will generate a new one. If I can remember how to do that. There is general. Instant invite, copy, set this link to never expire. Sorry about this, folks. There we go. And then let's change the invite here, because apparently this link doesn't work anymore. To be NY. Oh, it's case sensitive. That's why. Okay. Well, I'm smart. It's case sensitive. Well, now I understand. So if I set that back down to no text transformation, then it'll probably work. Oh man. Okay, good to know. I would not have guessed that, but anyways, sorry about that little diversion. Good night, Adia. It was great for you to join us tonight. I greatly appreciate it. Really, I do. Alright, so we've got money. We do need to water stuff over here. And I don't worry too much about gridding my water once money stops becoming a super huge deal. And then all of this can just immediately become residential. Again, we will fill in some better city service coverage in the future. But what I really wanted to tap into was this waterfront coastline here that has high land value. Perfect. Ooh, man. My eyes are dry tonight. Not a fan of that, not gonna lie. Okay, let's try to provide more heat here and just start upgrading more pipes, which is very expensive as it turns out. All of that is heated, and let's just start heating all of it. Man, this runs you out of money super quick. Holy cow. Look at how fast that 20,000 went away. Phew! Alrighty then. But we are kind of swimming in cash. The budgetary cuts have appeared to have helped. I am going to do the tax trick real quick though. Just because I want to get heated pipes down and then get to the point where I don't ever place anything other than heated pipes again. So yeah, this has been a really fun stream so far. I'm enjoying the city. I've got some great plans, like I said, for the downtown and the little tourist area, and I'm enjoying some of the Snowfall challenges so far. Like, power is a lot harder to keep on top of early on. I mean, I'm struggling with money. Like, I'm expanding too quickly. My designs are not very space efficient as far as city services are concerned. Like, I'm really running into some issues here, and I'm honestly enjoying it. Like, it's been really great to experience this. I've had the Snowfall DLC for a while. I've messed with trams, which, if I'm completely honest, is the main reason I bought the DLC. I knew I'd mess around with Snowfall at some point, but... And I don't know that I'd want these challenges every time, but honestly, I'm glad that they're in the game. It's a good way to mix things up sometimes. And before too long, we will hop on the public transit problem. On now. Upgrade all the things. And of course, with as expensive as these are, I was literally mentioning how I didn't care too much about gridding everything out properly because it's not that expensive, but as it turns out, it actually is. This unlocks our highways, it unlocks the large hospital, police headquarters, fire station, oil power plant, all that good stuff. Lots of good stuff to use here. Nothing that I'm necessarily going to use right this instant. I'm going to utilize the money to finish heating our city and making our power plant. Not having to heat using electricity. Alright, I know that was like super monotonous and boring for everyone, so I apologize for that. But look on the bright side, our entire city is being heated now, which I think is great. Looking through some of these, our power is now quite a bit down from where it was. At one point, we were over 100 megawatts of electricity consumption. So that makes a huge, huge difference. Water is doing fine. Garbage availability, landfill usage is getting up there. Elementary school capacity is not great, but I do think that we can kind of bring our budgets back up to the 100% mark. Let's go ahead and do that, and then we'll go through and check our coverages and see how those are all shaken out. And again, we do need to run another main avenue loop around this suburban section. Hook it in somewhere down here. Elementary school coverage. School is out right now, and this is one of the things that threw me off when I first used the real-time mod, is the fact that if you try to look at like your elementary schools when school isn't in session, because it's 3:30 in the morning, why would you be at school? They are disabled, so you don't actually see your coverage. So kind of a minor thing, but it is something to keep in mind if you do use the real-time mod. So our healthcare coverage is good. Death care coverage is decent. We don't have crematorium coverage, but that's fine. Fire safety is fine. Police coverage is fine. So yeah, turning our budgets back up helped with everything that we needed. Heating capacity is fine. Heating production is good. And it's yet another metric to keep in mind, which, again, I'm kind of looking forward to the increased challenge that it provides here. So I like that this is kind of sprawling into some more little suburban areas. I do think that I want to run a 4-lane road. And I did mention that I was going to do some different stuff with the highway coming in down here. We'll get to that here in just a little bit. What I'm going to do now, though, is probably run this down to about right here and then dead end it into this road. So let's bring this out here and just kind of make this another sort of interior loop of 4-lane roads. And can we hook this in there? Yes, we can. In fact, that even gave a sidewalk here to the pedestrians, which seems useful. We want to immediately turn that off. Okay, so it's rush hour. And oh man! Oh, look at this intersection. Okay, so this is something that I kind of expected to happen, but not necessarily this quickly. This is what happens with the way that I build suburbs, is sometimes they choose to bottleneck into exactly this type of situation. One of the biggest problems, again, is pedestrians. So I think what I'm going to do is put a stop sign here so that this traffic can flow regularly. Oh man. All right, I'm excited. Traffic problems. This is what I'm here for. This is what I live for. How are we going to fix this traffic problem? So that was rush hour. That was legitimately people needed to get from all this suburban section up into this industry. And again, the 90-degree corner here is kind of biting us in the butt. So I'm going to need to fix this. People are using this pedestrian walkway. In fact, a lot of people are crossing over and using this to get into the industry section, which I actually think is great. So we'll come back to that. Let's go ahead and run some more heated water lines along here. And man, that is so expensive. And of course, I did it inefficiently. And then let's kind of fill in the little gap here. And there we go. So all of that will be heated. Let's go ahead and flood fill this, because again, the way that I build things is that commercial runs along the avenues, and we'll break out the brush for this. In fact, I need to remember that this is how I usually do things. It's just been a while since I've started a new city with this mentality. The YouTube series that's coming out starting on Wednesday, tomorrow, I am building a circular city, which I did very, very differently from this. Hello, Thunder. More Thunder. So this is the way I usually do it, is I build the road, paint the commercial section, and then I build the smaller roads internally, which is a much better way to do it. We're going to bring this up and around there, and then we need another road here. So we're going to need to keep an eye on rush hour on the way home. It is currently lunch hour, and you can see that people are kind of out and about up here. These left turns are kind of biting us. We'll want to put in some turning lane roads here pretty soon. But let me go ahead and finish out all of this little stuff here. Again, I'm starting to get away from having a ton of roads going everywhere. Leave a little bit more space internally. We'll actually bring this up and around, but not connect it to that other road so that it doesn't become as big of a traffic funnel. And that should be good. Maybe we'll run this one right there. Fill all of that in with residential. Perfect. And again, it is all watered and heated. Med coverage is a little skinny out here. Fire coverage is definitely skinny out there. So we probably should just go ahead and plop down a fire station and a police station there. I don't worry about the big ones at the moment because we're pretty much capped out on the island until we start building on the other side. Until we get to that point, I'm not going to worry too much about the coverage over here as far as like putting anything other than, oh yeah, we do need a med clinic. That was death care we were looking at a minute ago. I'm not going to worry too much about anything other than just getting it done. Need some land value increasing parks here. Drop one in over here if we can. Yeah, we can squeeze one in right there. Get our land value up. All right, rush hour. How bad is it? This is bad. This is really bad. So I do have, let me pause it. Doesn't show it in here. Let me see if it has options, because I don't remember the name of it. It doesn't have options. There is a mod that I have on that is better traffic flow visualization. So if you're handling a lot of traffic and it's just moving slowly, or sorry, that's backwards. If your traffic is moving quickly, but there's a lot of it, then City Skylines will usually show it red, when in reality, it's not a problem. What is a problem is what we've got going on right here. I've decided that this can no longer exist. And so this is where I'm going to immediately jump, perfect timing, into this little guy right here. We're gonna run this right up here and then hook it in right there. Now, I think that this is a terrible idea as far as people that want to turn here. So instead, what I'm going to do is allow people to go straight onto that and people to turn onto that. And we will want to make this a 4-lane highway. I'm sure you can see the giant smile and like the intensity on my face because, again, I love traffic management. This is my favorite part. So I see a traffic problem and I'm like, ooh, that's my call. So that gives people an exit back out there. And I really hate this. This is bad. This junction is also bad. this being as close as it is, like a 3-way followed immediately by a 4-way here is bad. We're also gonna have some issues with waters shortly, so let's take care of that before it becomes a problem and I completely forget about it. We'll just drop this right on there, drop this right on here, and we're good to go there. Perfect. Okay, so how do we solve this problem? My gut feeling is I want to move this somewhere else. I don't like that this is a 4-way intersection right after a 3-way intersection. But I also don't like this 90-degree bend. So we're going to fix this first. If you need to go this direction, it's going to be curved a little smoother. Let's actually turn snapping back on. There we go. Now I'm going to keep it as 2-way, and hopefully this, I don't want a traffic light right now, but I do want people to stop for the moment. Let's see what this does to this little traffic jam. So this is ultimately still going to be bad. In fact, we don't want a stop sign there because either traffic is going to be coming in or going out. This will help a little bit, I think. No red lights here. We need to turn off red lights on the new stuff that we created down here while I'm thinking about it. I've sprung into the action. I am Graphic Manager. Graphic Man. Alright. So rush hour's over, and that sucked. That was really bad. That is definitely less than ideal. But also, that's one of the many reasons I like the real-time mod, is it simulates that problem. Like, if we had a leisure district, we would actually start having traffic problems there right now because it's 9 o'clock on a Friday night. And I love that it simulates these types of things. Elementary school, high school. We're going to need to drop in another high school soon, but I'm not quite ready for that. So I think that what's going to happen is it's getting a little close to when I want to stop. The next milestone is at 5,500, which is the big one. Because that's when we unlock high density. That's when we get metro. We haven't done any public transit yet. So that's also going to help. But again, this whole interchange is kind of garbage, if I'm being honest with you. I hate it, and I want to redo that. But I think what's going to happen is we're just going to let this tick up, let people move in here. We're going to hit 5,500, and that's going to end up being where I stop for the night. I'm going to download this video and try to get it up on YouTube as quickly as possible. Again, that is youtube.com/Runt9. I will drop that in Twitch chat. Again, we've got the circular city that I aptly named Pi Radial coming out on Wednesday, with episode 2 coming out on Friday. I've got some other videos up there from Slay the Spire, Ciralim. I also do a Pokemon Alpha Sapphire stream with my friend Emmy. We do our own challenge mode that we have dubbed the Runt9 Challenge. So absolutely check that out at some point as well. Otherwise, definitely, give me a follow here on Twitch if you want to see more content like this and be alerted when I do start streaming. Go subscribe to my YouTube channel. Check out the Discord, the Patreon, everything, all of that stuff. It's late. I don't usually go through my spiel this late, but y'all get the point. You know what to do. We've banked a lot of money. We're going to hit 5,500 here pretty soon. And that's going to be a wonderful stopping point. Because then we're going to just kind of ignore this. That there's not much here. We're just going to build out basically a whole new city here. That'll be our main focus for the next stream. We're going to buy this tile now. And I don't know when the next stream will be. It'll definitely be sometime this week, but we'll kind of see how it goes. I may even stream tomorrow night. We'll see. But we're going to start building out the high density stuff in this area. And my favorite part about all of this is the fact that we already have... When do we get trained? 7,500. So when we get to 7,500, we will actually be able to drop in a train station just right here. I mean, we'll do a different loop. Come on, keyboard. But we already have train lines run, and that makes me happy, because then it'll run out into the suburbs here. It'll run over to the tourism district here. And we may even like make this our leisure island. I think that would be cool. Just fill this with leisure commercial and just make sure that we have good public transit running out there. Waiting on hitting that milestone before I actually call it a night. But anyways, I really want to make sure that I thank everyone for watching. I had a great time tonight. I really did thoroughly enjoy this. Why? Oh, it's automatically emptying because I have empty it. We'll just drop another landfill there. That's fine. Yeah, Byron, thank you so much for joining the stream. I really appreciate it. Everybody's support means everything to me. That's why I'm doing this in the first place. Is I saw how much support and what a wonderful community Move the Mouse was building, and I said, you know what? I want to do my own spin on that, my own take on it. I want to see what I can do. There's 5,500, so I can't say thank you enough for you all coming out tonight. This was a great stream. I feel great about the city, and definitely, like I said, keep a lookout on YouTube. Keep a lookout here as I'll be doing more of these streams, and we're going to build out the city of Snowsville a little bit more. But otherwise, yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say. So thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.